Raider Nation, what is up? It's your boy Simone Raider back with another video, and today I want to give you guys my 3 biggest takeaways from the NFL Combine between Jon Gruden and Mike Mayock's, I would say, press conference / interviews, and give you guys my thoughts of what I think about it. So Raider Nation, with that being said, let's get started with this video.
You tell them one thing, just win, baby.
My first takeaway was addressing the wide receiver. Now, Jon Gruden was asked about this, about how important it is to have a wide receiver 1 on this team, and he kind of popped off a little joke, which was kind of funny because he said that we did go out last year and get the #1 wide receiver, or one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, but he ended up having cold feet. And we did sign one of the best wide receivers and free agency, and he had fried feet.
Well, I think it's important. Unfortunately, we felt we added one of the best receivers in the league a year ago. He had frozen feet. Then we thought we had the best free agent receiver, and he had fried feet. Feet were a problem for us last year.
Now, I know that maybe this year, hopefully, Jon Gruden and the Raiders can go out and find a wide receiver that doesn't have any problems with their feet. Hopefully, we find a receiver with some quick feet, because we really need that. And Jon Gruden believes that this year's wide receiver class is one of the best that we've seen in a while. Obviously, it's headlined by 2 big wide receivers and CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jeudy. A lot of Raider Nation, obviously, is just mixed on this decision whether to pick Jerry Jeudy or CeeDee Lamb. Now, Mike Mayock, on the other hand, believe that wide receivers in the first round are really overvalued, and he has a lot of point to that. I mean, as much as us Raider fans want to go out and get a star receiver in the first round, pump your brakes, because Mike Mayock doesn't really mess around when it comes to the NFL draft. Mike Mayock has a really huge point when he says that, because if you look in the past couple of years of all the wide receivers that were taken in the first round, at least for the past 5 years, there wasn't really a lot of big time wide receivers. Now, the only receivers that come to my mind that really made a big impact, at least in the first couple of years, would be Amari Cooper with the Raiders and AJ Brown. Now, AJ Brown only had 1 season, and he was up for Offensive Rookie of the Year, but he still got time to develop and see how well he's gonna do. Amari Cooper, obviously, he had a lot of ups and downs with the Raiders and the Raider Nation, alluding to what Mike Mayock did say, especially in this year's class, there is a lot of wide receivers that can go in so many different rounds, in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd. You can literally go in the 3rd round and still find quality wide receivers for this team. If you look at last year's draft, we picked up Hunter Renfrow in the 5th round, and he instantly became one of the best slot receivers in that rookie class. You look in this year's draft, other than CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, you got guys like Laviska Shenault, you got T. Higgins, you got Justin Jefferson, even Michael Pittman Jr. from USC. Those are a lot of really great wide receivers that we could pick up in later rounds. Even a guy like Jalen Reagor, who the Raiders are really interested from TCU, could be another option for the Raiders. So as much as I feel like the Raiders should go out and get a wide receiver in the 1st round, with Mike Mayock being the guy, the shot caller, big baller, maybe the Raiders do not draft a wide receiver in the 1st round. But that doesn't entirely mean that the Raiders won't draft a wide receiver. But to me, I have a lot of trust in Mike Mayock and Jon Gruden going into this year's draft. Whether we pick up a wide receiver in the 1st round, 5th round, 3rd round, it doesn't matter. Like I said, I have a lot of trust in them, and we do still need wide receiver help. So hopefully we do go out and get maybe our future #1 wide receiver for this team in the NFL draft. Now, the second biggest takeaway is probably the biggest storyline, headline around the Raiders and the Raider Nation. Whether Derek Carr is going to be the starting QB in Las Vegas, or he's going to be starting somewhere else, not with the Raiders. Now, Jon Gruden was asked about Derek Carr, and he did say that he believes that Derek Carr is a heck of a player, and he has a lot of respect for what he's done. And he did mention that Derek Carr has been in some tough situations.
I really think Derek's a heck of a player, and I got a lot of respect for what he has done, and with some tough circumstances. Which
really shows that Jon Gruden understands that Derek Carr may not have had the weapons that he needed to maybe succeed to that next level. Now, that's where a lot of Raider Nation are split, because half of Raider Nation that want Derek Carr gone says, that there's no excuse. Don't make those excuses for Derek Carr. He should go out there and make everybody better and stop dinking and dunking the ball, yada, yada, yada. And then there's the Derek Carr supporters who do believe this as well, that the Raiders haven't given him all the right pieces to succeed. Just this last year, we did go out and get a #1 tight end and a #1 running back and maybe a #1 slot receiver. But we haven't had that #1 receiver for Derek Carr to really excel. But last year, we did have that guy in Antonio Brown. And so everything started going downhill. And Tyrell Williams, as you guys know, is not a number one receiver. He is a great number two. Honestly, I see where Jon Gruden is coming from in that perspective. Now, Mike Mayock has come out and said that he's really happy with Derek Carr, and he believes that Derek Carr has played at a high level.
Derek Carr played at a high level. I'm very happy with Derek Carr.
But the biggest thing is, as much as Jon Gruden and Mike Mayock, really believe in Derek Carr and believe that he's a great quarterback, they have not really came out and said that Derek Carr is the quarterback going into Las Vegas. With everything that they're saying, they leave a little room for possibility of maybe moving on from Derek Carr. Now, one of the biggest quotes from Jon Gruden in his little interview that he did have was him saying, "I love what Derek Carr did. I love what he brings to our team, and he's anxious to continue to build around him." Key words, build around him, building around Derek Carr. Now, a lot of players and a lot of fans can go out and say that, oh, that means Jon Gruden and Mike Mayock is going to stick with Derek Carr and he's going to be the quarterback going into Las Vegas. Now, don't get too carried away with him saying that, because Mike Mayock did allude to something that I believe a lot of Raider fans, try to dissect. He said something that was really important. One quote that really got to me was him saying that we are going to evaluate every position every year, and if we can get better, we will.
We're going to evaluate every position every year, and if we can get better, we will.
And what could that possibly mean? To me, that means that Mike Mayock and Jon Gruden are really happy with what they see from Derek Carr. But if the Raiders were able to go out and get a big time free agent or a quarterback in the NFL draft, then they would be open to maybe moving on from Derek Carr. And the biggest name out there is obviously Tom Brady. And to me, I believe there is some kind of truth into the Tom Brady rumors, meaning that if the Raiders could get Tom Brady, I believe they will get Tom Brady and they will move on from Derek Carr. Now, I know that Mike Mayock came out and he says that he doesn't think too much about rumors. He can't really talk about it, but then still talked about if they can upgrade the position that they will. Honestly, I believe it's just a lot of mixed emotions. You guys already know where I stand with Derek Carr. I believe the Raiders should keep him, but I know a lot of Raider fans out there believe that we should move on from him. With that being said, Derek Carr did send me a video just to show to the haters out there of how he feels.
To all you haters, I'm sorry. But I'm here. You know what I mean?
Now, my third and last takeaway is just to talk about Antonio Brown. Now, this was great because Mike Mayock was asked about Antonio Brown and maybe a return to the Raiders, which I highly doubt that would have ever happened, saying that he had very little comment on it and that he had his time with the Raiders and he believes that his time is up. I love it, straight to the point, and you already know that Mike Mayock does not fuck with AB. And I did allude to this in one of my last videos that I believe that Mike Mayock would never let this ever happen as long as he's the Raiders GM. Now, Jon Gruden might be that person to probably bring him back after an apology, but Mike Mayock, no.
Not in my house.
Now that is all, Raider Nation. I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts on the latest press conference and interviews from the NFL Combine talking about the Raiders. What do you guys think about these takeaways? Let me know down in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed this video, then please smash that like button. And if this is the first time you're watching this video, then please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon button just to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this one. With that being said, until the next video, this is your boy Samoan Raider, and your boy is, yeah.